Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sun. I am here today to bring us messages from the divine to support us in this mission of embodiment and peace and love. So as we are building our energies to become more magnetic to these higher frequencies, this reading will help us to anchor that in so that we can have physical manifestations that reflect it. Just breathing deeply and giving yourself permission to slow down and tune in wherever you are, beginning to set an intention of what you would like to receive from this message today. Our first card is the Sun, to remind us of the anchor in our centers that connects us to the solar frequencies, the divine frequencies of life source energy. These creation codes sit in our physical bodies in certain energetic centers, particularly in the sacral and the solar plexus, connected also with the womb and the umbilical cord and our connection to Mother, reminding us of this divine connection as well as children of God. The angel oracle loves to come through, of course, for the angelic frequencies to support us in any challenges we're having around clarity in our mind and our decisions. The angelic frequencies can support us in becoming clear through a specific filter of acceptance, love. Look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. When we see the things that we are used to doing that happen instinctually, naturally, we might call it, what it usually is actually conditioning. It's the way that we were trained based on the survival mechanisms that we were exposed to. So as we are beginning to see our relationships as mirrors, we understand that anything that bothers us or is challenging from another person is actually just reflecting something that we're uncomfortable about within ourselves. And so we can continue to accept the people around us and open ourselves with true unconditional appreciation for wherever somebody is in their journey, even if it's very different from where we are or where we have ever been. So it gives us this opportunity to realign with what is the truth of your heart frequency. It can be much more simple than we think it is, because sometimes we are wrapped up in our minds about it. But when we come to the heart center, we're able to reconnect with the truth of the frequencies that are the most aligned with who we are. Isis. Proper burial for freedom, sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead. We're just finishing Scorpio season, but this is appropriate for it as we go into the winter season. It can really be helpful if you're working with cycles to connect to the earth cycles of where you're currently living. So for me in the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter coming into winter. And the offering of this rebirth energy, the hibernation, is really key to moving forward in the next cycle. Every expansion requires a contraction, just like every gift requires an offering. When you arrive to the oracle, to goddess, to your divine source, whatever you pray to, connect with, you offer yourself in devotion, right? And this is the key to unlocking the reciprocal energy. So we are at this stage offering parts of ourselves that are no longer serving. For me, it was pieces of my hair that I cut, as well my bleed, of course. I offer this to the earth, and any medicines, right? I bring medicines to burn or to connect with the earth. And when we offer them, we are able to ask to receive in return. So this is the reciprocation and the cycle that we are constantly working with and upgrading ourselves through. This is the rebirth that is available to each of us whenever we want it. Of course, there are things that can stimulate this. Kundalini awakenings tend to stimulate transformation, expansion. Relationships also do, as we talked in the last card. Now, from the rose, to look within the heart center to the message from the sacred priestesses of the Magdalene lineage. This one is the Great Mother, surrender to the mystery, fall into her arms. The womb is the memory of our home, of who we came from. And there's a softness there, a complete surrender of safety, because it's so interdimensional as well. It has no end, right? There's a recycling of energy, a constant flow of creation with the Eternal Mother. There's always more. There's a consistent support of opening and contracting and opening and contracting. So as we connect with her, with Mother, with Earth, with our own mothers, with our own children, with our wombs, we are strengthening the connection to the divine energies of the mother archetype, of that collective experience of bringing life into our planet through our creative powers, through our wombs, through our sexuality. It's such a beautiful opening, giving ourselves permission to really step in to the fullness of what is possible to come through us. Okay. My instincts keep me adaptable in the face of any obstacles, and I believe that's a fox, it looks like to me. Might be a wolf, some various mushrooms. The instinct is certainly a huge part of our expansion, because we are learning to trust ourselves, to know that what our natural impulses say are really accurate, and we're getting faster at picking up on these things, or slower in knowing how to discern with a time as well. So there's a variety of experiences around this, of becoming more aware around our ability to adjust and connect in deeper ways because of our it's like the mirror piece again, the ability to be unique to each individual that we're connecting with, right? We understand, we are so aware because we're looking at all of these details, we're feeling the subtle energies, more and more sensitive beings we are becoming. And so when we are reflecting with another person, we are receiving this back and forth data processing experience. And we are becoming more and more adept at making that really uniquely co-created to each individual person and experience. Okay. Just a couple more messages from the tarot here. Let's see. There's a sort of grace is the word that I'm seeing that we're wanting to bring in. This card just bent in my hand. The Eight of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords is being trapped in our mind, but actually we have a way out, we just can't see it. In reverse, it's we finally found our way out, right? We have finally passed that cycle, cleared that old pattern, and we've given up, forgiven the old story as well. So it teaches us again to be able, this one, it shows beautifully the angel, the flying ability, the air aspect of the swords element is about our ability to communicate, to move, to travel even, right? These things are very active, right? So there's this momentum kind of feel with it. And what would we need to know to support us? Because it does feel quite intense, and I feel quite a few of us kind of going, like preparing for something that's just really big and like, wow, it's just arrived, and it's a lot for me to take in. So how are we supporting ourselves? What are we needing to know to support in that experience? The Messenger of Pentacles of Earth, let me think, the Messenger is it's the Knight, I believe. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Excuse me while I process what this card is. The first feeling I had was that there was a sort of arrival of a solid energy. The message is, it's an offering. It's a new presence of something that's really strong. Reversed, it's definitely something that's settling in. We're finally seeing like, oh yeah, we are everything that we have been looking for. Our dreams are just waiting for us to choose them. We have to say no to the things that we don't want before we have access to things that we do want. That's often the test that happens when we're expanding. We will have an experience that comes that reminds us of the past, that asks if we're going to go through that same cycle. And if we break the cycle, a new pattern happens. And it's often this feeling of breakthrough. But the breakdown happens first, and then the breakthrough, kind of like that bottleneck. So we are in this expansion phase, but it is kind of settling in. And there's this kind of hibernation feel with it. It's very slow and steady. It's intense, but we don't have to push or fight anything. It's just letting it settle in. All of the work has already been done. It's behind us. Now we're really sinking into the throne of what we have already built up. So it's important to give ourselves permission to trust ourselves, to settle in to this new reality, and that we wouldn't be attracting this new reality if it wasn't aligned for us. We wouldn't show up in rooms if we weren't meant to be there, worthy to be there. The Four of Pentacles, exactly, with worthiness. The security is there. We have a strong foundation now. We cut out anything that was distracting us or causing us dis-ease or to pull us away from our foundation. And so now we have this solid rock again that keeps us feeling connected to the earth. We have an anchor, a cord, a golden cord that shoots down through the earth and connects us with our infinite nature. And as we remember this, we are able to go through anything with full acceptance and an open heart, and remember that this human experience and all of the mistakes that we make in between is so beautiful. And it's just a moment. We're in this little loop here. And it has this breakthrough feeling next as well with the 4. But the 4 is this, just kind of reveling in the stability and just hanging out there in the luxury of that first foundation that has been now embodied and anchored into us. So let's bring that back into our remembering of our request to anchor in our divine remembering of what our purpose, our mission, our calling is. As we center ourselves in this message and we allow it to settle in, I invite you to give yourself permission to expand your perception of what's possible a little bit today. Thinking about something maybe that's coming up, something that you're desiring, and giving yourself permission to look at that from an expanded point of view at this time. Just remembering that maybe what you desire is actually really aligned with what's meant to be. That your natural inclinations are universal messages telling you what's meant to be, where you can serve, who you are meant to become. Just breathing deeply as you let this message sink into your body. If you desire to go deeper with these messages, with your own transformation and use of your cyclical magic, I invite you to connect with me in the comment section. Let me know any questions that you have that came up today, what your reflection is. As well, if you would like to work with me personally, you can find that link in the description and comment section as well. I'm sending you so much love today. Thank you so much for being here. There's such a relief in allowing this change, this transformation to settle in. So I'm so grateful to witness and connect with each of you as you connect to my energy when you like and comment. Especially, I'm able to pick up more specifically on your energy. So I'm really grateful for you to share your beautiful energy with me and for your open ears to receive the messages of Goddess that come through me. Many blessings.